Mr. Thompson here. We're looking at 4D. This is the American Revolution, particularly the role of geography in the battles of Trenton, Saratoga, and Yorktown. So, first, Washington's main military strategy was to preserve his troops, to prolong the war, and to essentially break down the British will to fight. And basically just be like, give up, we're done. This isn't worth it anymore. So, with these big disadvantages the colonists faced, these battles show how if you use the knowledge of the land and geography to your advantage, you can win battles. So, Trenton. This is actually that famous painting, maybe you've seen it, of the crossing of the Delaware. That's where this comes from. And it's this surprise attack that Washington leads around December 26th, uh, so day after Christmas, and so it was this surprise attack over the cover of darkness, and it was an unlikely river crossing. The Hessians thought they were safe. They thought, hey, there's no way they're going to try and cross that river. It's going to take too long. It's too difficult, and we'll see it coming anyway. Well, wrong, because they did it overnight, and they did it at an unlikely time. They thought, yeah, it's holiday time. No way is a battle going to happen. Well, it did. This was a huge success for the American side. Very little life was lost during the Battle of Trenton on the American side, and it was a big morale booster. That's why it was so important, a big turning point in the war, that the Americans had been losing. This surprise attack happens, big deal, using that unlikely river crossing. Saratoga is important because this is where France decides to openly ally themselves with America. Because America wins Saratoga, they say, you know what, America could actually win this war, so let's do it. And so that's why Saratoga is a big deal for this win. But how did America do it? Well, they used the high ground to their advantage. They built up fortifications on Bemis Heights, and as the British troops were marching and coming into the river valley, the Hudson River Valley, they were surrounded because the Americans controlled the high ground, eventually surrounded the British troops, and the British were forced to surrender. And also, the river acted as a natural border there that the British could not retreat through. Yorktown's a big deal because this is where the British surrendered, and that's because, again, the colonists surrounded the British troops on land, and then the French Navy used the water as a way to cut off the British retreat. So controlling the land, controlling the water led to surrender.